Hi, welcome to week 4. We're looking at graphics and imagery this week, but before we take a look at our week, let's take a look at the winners of Find the Worst website. Now, one thing I want to mention before we look at these is these could very well be people just like yourself that are just learning how to do web design. However, we did do this study in the elements of design and principles of composition, and I think that you found some really good websites to critique here. So the number one winner was the Tie-Dye Queen. Need I say more? And then the next runner-up was the Roadside Barbecue. Congratulations to both of you for finding the worst websites. All right, let's move on to this week. So this week we're going to learn about images, and we're going to learn about how to find copyright-free images and learn a little bit about copyright and ethical behavior for designers and videographers or audio engineers. We're going to take a look at how you can freely download, reuse, and repurpose imagery. And this also applies to things like video and audio clips too. So for inspiration, I'd like you to take a look at this one, the CSS Zen Garden. All you have to do is click on this, take a look at it when you land on the page. In fact, let me do that really quickly. This is so much fun. Yay! Okay, so let's take a look. To look at how this is put together, you can just take a quick look down the page. We'll be creating a page similar to this with our social media marketing. But if you want to take a look at how the code is put together, this is a little bit more advanced. But what you would do is you would do a right click, view page source, and you'll be able to see that this is actually set up just like the Black Goose that you're setting up. Again, it's much more extensive, but it's all on the same principles. So there's your head information. Your style sheets and your CSS are actually linked to external styles, and that's because there is too much to be put on one page, and it's always best practice to have it on your CSS on a secondary page, an external style sheet, like we learned in week 3. We learned a little bit about that. But anyway, if you scroll down here, you're going to be able to see similarities. So here's the body starting here, here's your section here, and so on down the line. And like I said, this is much more extensive, but it gives you an idea of how you're learning the basic building blocks of creating an HTML page and applying CSS to it. So let's go ahead and scroll down just a little bit. Reading and research for this week. Be sure you do these in the order they are listed. Here's the lesson imagery for the web. It'll give you the background and all the information that you need to find copyright-free images and to learn about optimizing your images for the web. In a nutshell, what you're learning this week about optimization is you're learning to take an image and balance the image quality with the image load time, or they call it the file size or file weight. And so you're doing that fine line between quality and download time. And the lesson here will give you some good examples to take a look at. Next, you'll learn how to do this. This is a practical guide on optimizing images. Now, this does use Photoshop. Photoshop is the image editing of choice for all designers, whether you're multimedia or graphic design. Or CIT if you're working with that. You may be using a free program though other than Photoshop, and that's okay for you to use that too if you're familiar with it. And if you are not familiar with Photoshop or say GIMP or any of those other image editing programs, you can come down here to tutorials for working with color and optimizing images, and it'll give you some free alternatives, and there are a few very simple ones in there for those that are, we'll say, graphically challenged. So be sure you do 1, 2, 3. Then move on to your activities, forums, and assignments. An activity here for week 4 is Creative Commons and copyright. You'll be going through finding a copyright-free image and learning how to cite your source and turning in that information. And then you move on to the assignment for the practice site. Now this assignment will be available Monday night on the 21st. It will be open for 2 weeks. It's a continuation of the Black Goose restaurant page. There's several different pieces or components to this website, and you'll be adding imagery, changing some backgrounds, changing some colors, but it does run for 2 weeks. Now you'll have a draft due this coming Sunday at the end of week 4, and then you will give each other feedback, and then the final web page will be due on week 5. And that will conclude our introduction to HTML, CSS. Oh, I hear the applause. I hear thundering applause there. For some of you, just a few of you, you know who you are. But anyway, Then we'll be moving into our social media marketing work, and that will run for the second 5 weeks of the course. So that's it for now. Again, you'll find tutorials and resources categorized by topic listed here. You can always do a Google search for other things too. And please be sure, not enough of you are posting here to the course Q&A forum. I'm only seeing 1 or 2 postings here, and usually by this time of the term there's several. So if you have a question, post it there, and I'm sure someone else will have that same question. All right, that's it for this week. If you have any questions, post them there, or if it's of a more personal nature, then you can email me directly. I will be posting grades today, which is October 21st, for assignment 2, and assignment 3 will be probably tomorrow or Wednesday. Okay, that's it for now.